I was talking fantasy football with my friends the other day.
Alan, Josh? Well, look who's back. Where the hell have you been? At home, sitting in your asses?
Go away now, Josh. Actually, my name is Alan.
The dorky white
I think
Kevin
it'd be
who
cool
comes
if
out that
we
Dan
did
on
like
his head.
Caleb Williams and Kevin Murray jerseys too. That'd be kind of cool.
Football.
I didn't do it. My hands were in plain sight for a change.
It does it every single time.
Every single time we don't want it to.
Yes.
Hey, welcome back to Benton Fantasy Football. We are your hosts. I'm Alan Bentley.
And I'm Josh Worley.
And we have got so much stuff to talk about this week.
We do.
Well, I'm not even going to go through everything. We're just going to kind of jump into our labels provided by Worley Labels.
Okay.
Coming to you from our makeshift dungeon.
Yes, our makeshift dungeon. So
That will be changing soon. Why don't you go ahead and do your label
all right,
first?
I'm gonna go first. My label says lots of exciting new moves, and no, that doesn't mean Alan's dance moves because I don't want to see that, and I'm sure you guys don't either.
They are
but,
exciting and new, though.
oh God, everything is exciting and new to you because you forget it everything you've done the day before. But anyway, we've got a lot of good moves.
What are we doing?
Oh my God, shut up. There's a few new moves that are really buzzing right now. Got the NFL world buzzing and the fantasy world buzzing too. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, so let's jump into my can then. My can says today is opposite day. Okay, so sounds kind of weird, I know, but very childish, which is of course.
Sounds kind of weird. I mean, that's what we do all the time.
Yeah, I mean, sounds childish, but of course, that's also what we do all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, what it means is that I'm going to try to look at things from the opposite point of view today. So
Okay.
I'm also going to share some strategy that I used this last week and some of the moves that I made, and kind of fill you guys in on why I did what I did and how I did what I did.
Did it work?
It did so far, but I set myself up for the future. That's the big
Okay,
part.
good,
So
good.
I'm in a good place. We'll talk about that more later. But so we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Okay.
Before we go too far, I do want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, and share. Please do that. We're starting to grow our fan base and the number of people that are
We got a
watching
lot of
our
views
videos.
on the last couple of videos, actually.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
cool. So even
So-
though we both watched it like 146 times,
each.
Each,
But,
yeah.
that's not the point. But please, like, subscribe, and share. That helps us out the most. If you guys could comment, good, bad, or indifferent, we would appreciate that too. So please do that. Josh.
that's it for that. We welcome comments. We want to see you guys talk about it. What we did wrong. Like last week, we said Cincinnati was playing the Jets and they were playing the other New York team, the Giants. So we make mistakes all the time. But anyway, let's pop open these beers and then
Yes.
we'll get on with the show. So
All right, guys. As you do every week, sit back, pop open a cold one.
and enjoy the show. That was a big gulp.
It
Don't get
was.
too gassy for the show.
I mean, more gassy.
More gassy.
That's what that smell was earlier. I didn't tell you.
Whatever.
But anyway, let's talk about Gub. What's got you Gub? What has got you bent, Josh?
What's got me bent this week is the firing of Robert Saleh, the New York Jets head coach. Now,
Why is that, Josh?
why is that the way they went about it? Okay, this move should have been done in the offseason. I think you could probably agree on that.
Yes.
Okay, this move should have been done in the offseason. It's another example of crybaby Aaron Rodgers getting his way. It's either me or Saleh. You got to make up your mind in Jets ownership.
You think
Chose Rodgers.
You think it has something to do with Salah trying to hug him on the sideline? Because Rodgers wasn't too happy about that. He was kind of like, "No, bro, I'm doing ayahuasca tonight.
Yeah. Unless you got some fresh ayahuasca, dude, just hands off.
You're my MVP, but
Yeah.
not this game."
Yeah. The way they went about it, they let Aaron Rodgers have his way again, and they could have waited till the end of the year. So
Well, and you know what? It's funny because Jets fan are impatient people.
they are.
Look at what they've done to some of the quarterbacks over the years. The butt tackles and all this other stuff, and it's been a disaster, almost as bad as it has been in Chicago. But that's a whole nother show. We're not going to talk about
Yes.
that. Anyhow,
What's got you bent?
what's got me bent it's the same old, same old.
Okay.
I'm kind of mad about, the referees have a hard job, and they do a really good job considering what they have to see and the amount of time they have to see it and make a decision that quick.
Yeah, it's a flash
They
decision.
do an amazing job. You don't see every second or third call being overturned, but they have a hard job, and this out of the booth refereeing, I'm really on the fence about it, but I'm leaning towards going away from it, because at some point you have to have human error comes into play. It's part of the game. It has been for years. Umpires in baseball call foul balls when they're actually a fair ball, and vice versa. And strikes are balls, balls are strikes, and except for Malola. No, that's a whole other thing. But so this, I guess this umpiring from New York or the booth or wherever this mystery booth is, maybe it's in the cloud, I don't know. But
who the heck knows? I hope it's not AI.
Yeah, right.
Chat GPT.
But I don't like it. I think they should get away from that. I think the NFL's come up with a lot of unnecessary rules lately, and that's what's got me bent.
Okay, and you're exactly right, because when you were saying about the referee thing, the whole thing I was thinking when you were saying that is, not only do they have to make split-second decisions, then they have to look at the replay, but they can get overruled from somebody 2,000 miles away in New York.
Right.
Maybe that person sitting in office in New York sees something different than you do. So whether you interpret it right or not, it doesn't matter what your call is. You know what I mean? You got someone breathing over your neck, and if they decide to change a call, go against all your judgment, it's nothing you can do about it. So.
And I'm tossed on it because I'm all about advancing technology in the game and making the game more, the outcome more what it should be and more pure. But the thing is, it's part of the game. Human mistakes are part of the game.
Yeah.
And like I said, these guys do a great job overall. Yeah, they make mistakes. Everybody does, but it happens.
Otherwise, you might as well just have drones out there officiating the game. You know what I mean?
Right. So anyway. That's what's got me bent this week. But you know what? I feel much better now that I've vented to everybody. Thank you for being there.
Good. Yeah. When you were saying that, I felt exactly the same way, and I hate the 1984 Big Brother surveillance state kind of watching over you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys, but that's what you think.
That's what he conspires to. But anyway, let's talk about the moves this week. Because on your label, which was very well printed from Worley Labels, I appreciate their
it usually is when I write it. When you do it, you can barely even tell there's
spelling mistakes on the word.
Well, this week actually you spelled opposite right, so I'm pretty happy.
I was supposed to spell it backwards because it's opposite day.
Yeah, but anyway, never mind. You made a couple mistakes. I'll point them out later.
Let's talk about the two big moves that happened today. So, as you guys are watching this, I know I teased you a little bit earlier with this on our Facebook page, Bent on Fantasy Football on Facebook. But
let's do this guy first.
This one, okay.
Let's do that one first.
We're going to talk about Amari Cooper first. Okay. And his trade, he got traded to Buffalo, and it was they actually got either 2 or 3 picks out of it. I think it's 2 picks.
Okay. So here's how it works. So Buffalo got a 2025 6th round pick and Cooper. Right. Okay.
And then a conditional also. Right?
And then a conditional for 2026.
Right. Which could be a 2025 third or fourth round, something like that.
Well, no, Cleveland is guaranteed a 2025 third round from Buffalo. I was just reading about it before I came over here. And then they also got, I believe, a 2026 sixth round. I could be wrong on that one, but I know they at least got the 2025 third round guaranteed.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, they got essentially they got 2 draft picks for 1 player is long and the short of it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so interesting in that it's definitely going to help Buffalo out.
I think it is.
Who's it going to help? It's going to help, obviously, Josh Allen, one of the guy with the greatest name in football.
Yeah, of course.
And it's going to help Kincaid, and it's going to help Knox. It's going to help
James Cook,
but I think James Cook's going to be on the back burner for a while. I don't think you're going to hear a whole lot from him for a little bit. It's going to take him.
I mean, he really hasn't done a whole lot this year. He had one really good game, and
he's been on the practice squad for most of the season. So, I don't really foresee him being a difference maker.
Yeah.
Even with this change. However, I will say that all the existing targets are going to get more targets. It's going to be loosen things up a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough. They're 4-1 now, right?
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not going to say too much because we got something on the wheel of misfortune here that we're going to talk about with this too. But
Yes.
I'm going to say that he's going to be an impact on this on the offense. I just don't think it's going to be an immediate impact.
Okay, and I agree with you 100%. And the reason I wanted to go with Cooper first is because Cooper's, I wouldn't say he's a great NFL running back, okay? He's a good NFL wide receiver, not running back.
He's a terrible running back. That's why he went for wide receiver.
Right. But what we've seen with Cooper's past, and Al and I talk about this every year, there's growing pains when you go from a new team, you go to a new team, in the middle of the season. We were wrong about McCaffrey. Okay, he exploded. But if you look at all the moves in Cooper's career when he went from, was it Oakland at the time or was it Los Angeles Rams? I think it was Oakland or Raiders. I think it was Oakland Raiders, wasn't it?
Probably.
When he went to Dallas. Okay, it took him 3-4 weeks to even get on the same page with the quarterback. Now, and then the same thing, he didn't have an immediate impact when he moved from Dallas to Cleveland. So the growing pains with Amari Cooper throughout his entire career, when he switches teams, it takes him a little longer than some of the guys we've noticed to actually, make an immediate impact. So I don't know how relevant it is going to be fantasy-wise immediately, but yeah, it's going to open up that offense.
Okay, now that being said, I'm going to play devil's advocate for just a moment here. That
Okay.
being said, let's say, so Buffalo is 4-1, right?
Yeah.
So they're poised to insert somebody right now to just amplify what they've got going on, right?
Yeah.
I can see for probably the first week, and again, this is going to be on the WOMF, so I don't want to give away too much, but in the first week, I can see him being more of a learning probably 5 or 6 solid plays, and then coming back to the quarterback when he's in trouble, things like that. Maybe blocking, chip blocking, things like that.
And playing and getting shadowed by Sauce Gardner this weekend isn't going to help either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So I see all that happening. Yeah, and against the Jets defense, I'm sorry, they're not playing the Jets. Who are they playing this week?
Oh, they're not playing the Jets. God, what was I thinking? Well, I wasn't. Let's see. They are playing, Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is lights out right now, guys.
So, it's going to be a tough one to lean on Cooper for the first week or so. But I think he's definitely going to be an impact. Now, they're in a position right now, being 4-1, they've got something working for them, so they just got to figure out how they're going to work him in.
Yeah, and they have the luxury that not a lot of teams have when they get new players, partially through the season. They can ease him in. I don't foresee him lining up on the field for 60, 70 plays. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. Not initially, anyway.
No. So.
But
that is a big move, though. That is a big move.
It is. Now, as far as Cleveland goes, let's take a look at that real quick because Cooper leaving Cleveland. Who does that leave for?
Jerry Jeudy. That receiving core is atrocious.
Okay, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Judy's numbers are not bad this year.
They're not.
If you look at that, he's going to step into a number 1 role finally, since he was in Denver.
Yeah.
I think he's actually going to rise up to the occasion.
I want to, and guys have been high on Jeudy his whole career, but who's not having a good season at all is the quarterback.
Right.
So
that's where it gets tricky. Is until there's a quarterback change there, I can't rely on Jeudy. I've got Jeudy on one of my leagues.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about picking him up on the other one, but I can't do it because of the quarterback position.
As long as Deshaun Watson's throwing the ball, there's no way you can even trust him partially.
No, absolutely not. Deshaun Watson has been a huge disappointment in Cleveland. So
Nick Chubb is active this week, guys.
Oh yeah, and Njoku's active as well. So
I don't think we'll see Nick Chubb for a couple weeks though, but he's active.
He's active.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. All right, on to the next one. Let's talk about the big one now. The elephant in the room. That's Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams,
getting traded to Green Bay. Now, let's talk about that for just a second.
Not Green Bay,
Or,
the
I'm
New
sorry,
York
not
Jets.
the Jets. Yeah, with his former Green Bay teammate,
Quarterback, yeah.
quarterback. Yes. So.
And I told you last week, I hated this scenario.
Yeah.
Because I hate Rodgers, but.
Yeah, so this throws a big monkey wrench into the plans that I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to get ahead of it, and I was too late. I don't know what you had as far as this goes, because I know you've got Devontae on one of your leagues. I've got him on one of my leagues. How does this change for you, Josh? Let's talk about that.
I think this is huge. The reason I wanted to talk about Cooper first is because if you look all throughout his career, he's taken 3-4 games to kind of ease into new offenses. Adams, it really hasn't. You know, he makes an immediate impact. You know, with subpar quarterbacks even. Now, the fact that he's going to New York, Rodgers and Adams are like best friends, dude. So, not only the fact does Devontae Adams is he a quick learner when it comes to a new playbook, but he's going back to Aaron Rodgers. Okay. And I think you can agree with me on this. Garrett Wilson's a great quarterback. He's
wide receiver.
What's going on with me tonight? Receiver, okay, he's the number one right now, but without a question, he's taking a back seat. Adams is Rodgers' guy. He's going to be Rodgers' guy as long as they play together. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he makes an immediate impact. Rodgers gets his way, guys. I mean, as big of a crybaby he is, he's a great NFL quarterback, even though we don't like him as a person. He'll get Devontae the ball. Devontae's a playmaker. I'm really excited for it. On my fantasy team, but as far as football is concerned, I hate it. So
let me give you my take on that as well.
Okay.
This was a very interesting week for me. Starting with Adams, let's talk about that because he's been sitting out. The last game he sat out healthy. He sat out because I think it was more of a contractual thing. He wanted out of his contract with them, or wanted to go someplace else. I didn't think that Vegas was going to cave on it, but they did. They caved on it.
Yeah.
I kind of seen that coming actually yesterday, and I got to thinking about my situation. I've got Garrett Wilson on one of my leagues. That actually is a bad thing for that. I've got Adams on another league, the other league, and it's a good thing for that one.
Yeah.
Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing for Garrett Wilson.
No.
It does help Breece Hall out. It helps
Tyler Conklin.
Conklin as well. Yep. So it does give us some extra weapons, but
Helps Rodgers out
like you
tremendously.
Like you said, yeah, it helps Rodgers tremendously. But like you said, Garrett Wilson is going to play second fiddle to Devontae Adams. It may not be this coming week, but the following week he will be playing back.
Who's New York playing this? Oh, Pittsburgh. They're playing Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh's D is very, very good. So
yeah. So you probably won't see any immediate impact. You might, but it'll be minimal.
Well, if this tells you anything, guys, the over-under is 38. Pittsburgh and the Jets.
There you go.
The implied points are not going to be
right. So
not going to be
that may not be even figuring in that trade yet either. Too. I don't know.
Well, that's the updated. Let's see. I think it went down. I'm looking at it right now. Started off at 43.5. As of right now, it's 38. So it dropped 5.5 points.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So current, yeah. I don't know why it's dropping like that. I think Jets are going to pound them. I really do.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my strategy this week, I do want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you real quick. A couple weeks ago, Alan and I had talked about behind closed doors. I wanted Wilson. I did want Wilson because I didn't think, I like Wilson. I don't like him with Adams there. Okay, he's not a one with Adams there. I was offering Chuba Hubbard, which I think both of us have come around to. They talked today even about Jonathan Brooks, even though he's coming off injured reserve. He may not play. He may not get a role. He's not going to be the starter for the rest of the year. But would you have taken that, knowing what you know now, Chuba Hubbard for Garrett Wilson?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
And I'll tell you this, I wouldn't have given up Chuba for Garrett Wilson if I would have known now what I, then what I know now.
The reason I say that is because I got a good week out of him in between that.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped me win this last week. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have traded away a win because I don't know that I would have had one with Chuba Hubbard. So
Okay.
that being said, Garrett Wilson is going to take a back seat, but I will tell you this: he's still going to be Mr. Relevant there. He's definitely going to be.
He's going to be the
a
T.
big
Higgins to Jamar Chase, is what he's going to be, in my opinion. Would you agree with that?
I would say yes, but I think it's going to be a little bit more even.
Okay.
Because it's going to take him some time to learn all the plays. Obviously, Rodgers can help him with that.
Or the Anquan Bolden to the Larry Fitzgerald. They were close.
Yeah.
I still like Adams. I'll give Adams the edge till the cows come home.
Sure.
As long as he's playing with Rodgers. But I agree with you.
So he's still going to be a relevant part of it. My strategy for this week, what I wanted to do was actually once I got a feel that Adams was going to be traded, I wanted to just put Garrett Wilson on the market real quick and see if I could sell him, but it happened too fast. I didn't get that opportunity. I wanted to get some talent in for him and get him off my roster. Not because I don't think he's going to do well. I think he's going to do fine this year, and I'm okay with keeping him. But I think I could have got a lot more talent for him yesterday than I could have today.
Yeah, I agree. And I got an offer I was telling Alan about earlier today from a guy who didn't want anything to do with Devontae Adams a couple weeks ago when I offered him a trade. All of a sudden he sends me a 3-person trade this week, and no, I'm not falling for that, guys. I think the ceiling is way too high right now for Devontae Adams. We could be wrong, but I love the situation. Like I said, I don't like the fact that he's playing with Rodgers, though.
And yeah, New York fans are so brass, and no offense, Jets fans, but offense.
Yeah.
They're very, very brass, and they're very, very hard on their sports teams, which has led them to some good teams. But they also eat people alive. So I think Aaron Rodgers is on the verge of being eaten alive after the first couple games of the season, and the team kind of has panicked a little bit since then.
He played really well last night, though.
Firing Salah, and then now they're going after Adams. I think they went into panic mode, and I think they did it too early.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So.
Well, like I said, they're caving into Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
His crybabiness, so.
Yeah, the other strategy I wanted to talk about too this week was that I had for last week was at one point in my roster I had all 3 running backs for
Houston Texans.
Yeah, I had Mixon, I had Akers, and I had
Dameon Pierce.
What I did is once I seen that Mixon was healthy, I knew he was going to be a shoo-in, right? So
God, he had a great week.
He
had a really, really great week.
I started him in my lineup. I dropped Pierce automatically because even if something was to happen to Mixon again, Pierce is still going to have rust. He's been off. He hasn't played most of the season, so Cam Akers has been doing a pretty good job.
He did have a huge run the other day, but they're playing who they play, the Jags?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it was pretty relevant.
Really bad defense.
Yeah.
And it was garbage time, too.
Right.
Or no, it was New England they were playing.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so that was my strategy. I had all 3 of them. I ended up with Akers and with Mixon still on my team. I got rid of them. I made a couple interesting moves. I wish I had my lineup in front of me to tell you guys about it, but can you pull it up real quick?
Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick for you. You don't have Akers anymore, right? I think.
I still have Akers.
Oh, you still? Okay.
Yep, I have Akers.
Because I saw Pierce on free agency, and I don't even want to touch him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he became irrelevant as soon as Mixon was healthy for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then
And our history with Cam Akers as well.
Right.
That's not very good.
All right, so Najee Harris I have for running back on that league, who had a good week this week, and then I picked up Ridley, I believe, didn't I? Yeah, I picked up Ridley.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
I dropped him. Because George Pickens was available. Who the hell still has George Pickens available? So I used a bunch of my free agent money. I picked up Pickens. I dropped Ridley. I still like Ridley, but he's no Pickens.
Yeah, I've got Shaheed still, who is actually injured, but maybe pretty.
That whole New Orleans team is injured, it seems, man.
Yeah, he may be relevant this week, but they're playing a tough Denver defense, so I don't know that necessarily a great way to go with him this week. And Ridley, that was just probably the best of what was left out there at the time. So
Yeah, like I said, I still really like Ridley.
I do have another free agency move. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I do have
Okay.
another free agency move that I'm working on. and possible trade that I'm working on too. But I am not going to say anything until next week and let you know how that comes out. So
Okay.
anyway,
Cool. So yeah, that's it. I want to talk about a new segment I want to kind of add to the show. I know a lot of you guys do the daily and weekly fantasy. I want to focus on a couple quarterbacks this week that could make a big impact for daily and weekly fantasy. Now, I don't know what percentage of leagues these guys are owned in, but I want to throw a couple names out there that would be great fantasy quarterbacks this week for a daily or a weekly. Not season wide, okay, but a good fill-in that could, ceiling is just through the roof. You know what I mean? The points. So I know that doesn't make any sense. Ceiling is through the roof, but you know what I mean. Their point ceiling is through the roof.
Hey, you know what? If you wouldn't have stopped, I wouldn't have said a word. Go ahead.
Okay. We saw Drake May last week, guys.
It's all about you, Josh.
I know. Yeah, well, of course.
Let's do this.
I'm a princess. But anyway, we saw Drake
He's your
May.
supporting actor.
We saw Drake May play his first full game against a really good Houston defense. Threw for 3 touchdowns, even though they got blown out. They are playing Jacksonville this week, guys. Jacksonville's D is absolutely horrible. Okay, Jacksonville's D through 6 games are giving up just under 1,800 yards, so to opposing quarterbacks. And they haven't played a lot of decent quarterbacks, is the thing. So they're giving up just about 300 yards a game. That's unheard of, isn't it, for an NFL defense? They're allowing a 71% completion. And the big thing, we talked about, before the game, I asked Ellen a question, how many interceptions does the Bears defense have? We thought it was more like 6, 7, but they have 5 this year. Jacksonville's team interceptions, guys, they have 1 on the year. Okay, I think Drake May is a big, big play this week for weekly, daily fantasy. Get him in there. He's going to be cheap. Okay, and he did good last week. And they're giving up 71%. Jacksonville is completions. They're not going to pick him off, most likely. So I like Drake May this week. Another guy, and this guy's going to surprise both of us, I think. When I was looking past the numbers, Geno Smith. Did you know Geno Smith right now is number 1 in the NFL for quarterback dropbacks?
We really need to have a talk about your Geno Smith. Remember when I had this thing with Noah Fant that I just couldn't not mention him in the show?
Yes, but I got the numbers to back this up, okay?
And remember we had that conversation after the show, and it's like, you have to get off the Noah Fant thing, and blah, blah, blah. And I got better. We need to do the same thing with you with Geno Smith. Okay?
Yes.
Because we'll talk about this after the show. And
I don't like Geno Smith every week, but guys, they're playing Atlanta this week, who's a mediocre defense at best. Did you realize, though, that Geno Smith is first in quarterback dropbacks, first in pass attempts in the NFL? You know who's the next closest quarterback is Dak Prescott, and he's been throwing. He has to throw 1,000 times a game because they're down so much because their defense gets shredded by the running backs. But Geno is over 30 dropbacks and pass attempts higher than the next closest, which is Dak Prescott. He's going to throw all over that Atlanta D, guys. I really think so. So I like those 2 guys. They're going to be cheap for the price. You're going to be able to get the big money at the other positions. So I like those 2 guys this week for daily and weekly fantasy.
Hey, I gotta say thank you, Josh, for the cheap advice.
That was easy.
My advice is always cheap. You get what you pay for, Alan.
Oh boy. All right. So, that's your 2 quarterbacks that you wanted to talk about.
Yes,
right?
maybe next week we'll talk about a couple running backs for daily. I want to try to pick a position each week and go over the daily, weekly fantasy suggestions. Not that our suggestions are ever any good, but like I said, I bring the numbers to back it up. So,
what is your record this year so far?
Oh, shut up.
I was just curious. I don't
Hey,
know.
if it's opposite day, I'm 5-1. You said it's opposite day, so I'm 5-1.
Oh, okay. So, unfortunately, I guess I'm what? See, what equals 6? I know what does.
Are you 3-3?
No, I'm 2 and 4.
Oh, I'm 1-5. So you're barely above me.
So
Who scored more points though? This guy.
I'm 4 and 2. If
Are you really? Opposite.
If it was an opposite day.
Yeah, but I'd be 5-1, so I would be better.
Yeah, but your 5 and 1 is
Whatever.
Just an illusion, Josh. It's only for one day, Josh. Tomorrow you're screwed. So
The whole world's an illusion, Alan.
all right, let's do. Oh, you know what? Real quick, I want to bring something up here. This is what we play for, guys. This is the Carl Wilson Memorial Trophy for our league. This is what we play for. Want to let you guys know who are on our league that watch the show every week that it's still out here. I didn't like run off to Jamaica when I won this a few years back. I sent pictures.
It is hollow though. He had to drill into the back here to get some of that silver out. He scrapped it. So
When I had this a few years ago, I took pictures of myself and like the trophy was in a suitcase sticking out, and I was like on my way to Jamaica. And
yeah.
So it's here. It's in the United States. It got through customs and everything, so we're good. Just wanted to let you guys
Wait
know.
a minute. There's no way in hell they would let you take that to Jamaica. They didn't, did they? No. I was gonna. No, that would have been confiscated.
Anyway, moving on. This is what we're playing for, guys. Let you guys know in our league that it's here, it's well, and we're gonna get this updated too.
With my name on it. So
the last one on there was my name back in 2018, so we're gonna get that fixed. But but it's good shape. It's all solid now, and we're good to go. So
Good.
It's alive and well. Just so
Good.
you guys know. And the other Alan on our league is the one who actually should be having this at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So
We are gonna do WOMF.
yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And this is our favorite part of the show.
It is.
Or one of our favorite parts of the
It
show.
is. Now, it being opposite day and all, this is my opportunity, Josh, to look at things from
My perspective?
your perspective. Yes.
Okay,
And
well,
if-
don't look at all the things from my perspective, because some of them you don't want to see, so.
So let's think about that for a minute. Whoa! So this is what
Whoa!
this is what it looks like on this side of the table. Whoa! All right, opposite day is cool.
Oh, I got so much hair. Oh my god.
You know what? It is opposite day, and this was empty. Now it's full.
Oh my god. I wish that was the case.
This is amazing. I love my life. All right, so you were gonna go first, but since it's opposite day, I'm going first.
So last week, Alan went 2 and 3.
Do we have to talk about this?
We don't. I went 3 and 2. We went 5 and 5, guys. If you want to see our picks, I'll just run down a few of them real quick.
We suck at life.
We suck. No, we don't suck at life. We suck at fantasy sports. So, Dallas did get shredded by that Detroit offense, or that Detroit run offense, just like we thought they would.
I'm pouring too.
They gave up about 200 yards again. Shut up. They gave up about 200 yards again, so I lost the Gibbs. I won the Monty.
Got the full Monty?
You got a full Monty, yes. Adams, the big one that sticks out in my mind is you went over 3 weeks Adams would last without a trade. I don't know why you did that, because you were thinking the whole time. It was like an inception, I think, on your part. You were trying to plant the seed of doubt.
The actual word is deception, not inception. It's deception.
You were trying to plant the seed of doubt in my mind.
No, I was deceiving everybody.
But you do that all the time anyway.
Well, everything I say is the art of
All right,
deception.
so who's going to go first?
Who's going to go first? I am. Remember I spun it?
That's right. That's right. This week, guys, we're doing over-unders.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or we're doing spreads only. We're not doing over-unders. We're doing spreads. And there are a couple surprises on there for some props, but we're doing spreads only.
Denver versus New Orleans. New Orleans is favored by 2.5.
No, they're underdogs at home against Denver, which kind of surprises me. The reason is Denver.
I'm sorry. Yes, they are. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, New Orleans normally I think would have blown them out of the water, but they got a lot of injuries, guys. New Orleans does right now, including.
I'm taking Denver.
Are you? Denver minus 2.5.
Yeah, no need for discussion. Denver's gonna win.
Okay. And Olave is back, but he's not even fully healthy. So,
But Derek Carr's not back.
I know. One thing about that game, Desmond Ridder threw his first interception of the year, or of his NFL career.
Oh wow.
So he played quite a bit last year, didn't he?
I guess.
Yeah, and I was listening to a fantasy show or a sports show.
Denver, nobody really knows.
I know, it was on a radio show, a sports radio show, and the guy was making fun of it. He goes, yeah, the first interception of many. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, don't you want many interceptions in your NFL career? Because that means you've played for many years and you've had a successful career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, okay, that's just a side note on Ritter.
Well, that was really interesting, Josh.
Most stuff I say is not the least bit. Ooh, the orange kid.
You're like me. You're full of a lot of useless information.
KC at San Fran. San Fran's -1. I like KC, guys. I think KC is going to win this game outright. San Fran is kind of getting by, playing weaker teams. I like Kansas City the way they're playing right now. San Fran is still the favorite in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. I don't know why.
Definitely not a Super Bowl rematch that you're going to be seeing there.
Oh, and that Tampa Bay, New Orleans, or Tampa Bay, was it Tampa Bay, New Orleans? Yeah, that game last week was the game of the week. Remember, we talked there could be huge fireworks in that game? And
Yeah.
they had like 45 to 52 points at half,
Yeah,
something like
crazy.
that. 51 at half. Yeah, that's nuts.
All right. My turn.
Your turn.
Hope I get one of the prop ones, the other prop ones like that one, maybe. Let's see.
You know what? I know what color they are. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, I do too. Now that you said that.
It's not that color.
Houston versus Gub.
Gub. Green Bay, what are they, -3 at home?
Yep. I will take Houston in that game. I think Houston's going to beat Green Bay.
You do?
Yeah, you know what was interesting last week?
What?
Bears blew out their opponent.
Yes.
Green Bay blew out their opponent. Minnesota didn't play.
Yep. And
Detroit-
Detroit blew out their opponent.
Yep.
Yeah.
That NFC North is looking really strong right now.
They are. They
Right
are.
now. However, Bears have not beaten a team with a winning record.
I know.
Neither has Green Bay.
I know. But I still like Detroit for that division. Even though Minnesota's undefeated, what do you think?
I like Detroit. I really do. I don't think it's going to be Green Bay. I think Green Bay's time is limited.
Minnesota just does not have the weapons in the backfield. Detroit does. They got the best 1-2 punch right now for running backs.
They do.
So, and they got the receiver weapons and the tight end. I think Detroit.
Detroit's got the total package. The Bears have a good package, but it's not quite there yet.
That's what Alan tells me outside of work all the time. You have the total package, Josh.
Yeah, get it out of your hand. It's not yours.
Oh my God! Shut the hell up.
All right,
I hate you.
spin the wheel.
All right, whatever.
Spin the wheel.
Oh, that was a weak spin.
Yeah, well,
All right, so Philadelphia, New York Giants. Philly is on the road. They're a 3-point favorite. You can't trust the Giants, guys. I mean, I have Devin Singletary, and I really like him this year, but Philly's going to kill him. Giants just suck, you know?
Well, no, they suck. Never mind.
And I don't think Neighbors is going to be fully back this week, so Philly's going to kill him.
All right.
So if you guys are betting, which we are not, take the Giants to cover because
Guess what this is?
most of what I say doesn't.
Tampa Bay and Buffalo. Buffalo is favored by 9.
It's not Tampa Bay and Buffalo, is it?
No, it's Tennessee and Buffalo.
Okay, I was going to say Tampa Bay's not playing them.
Sorry, Tennessee and Buffalo.
Okay.
Um,
Tennessee's D is pretty solid, but Will Levis is not. He's the opposite of solid, so
yeah, he's more like a liquid.
he's like the diarrhea of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So
Man, I guess I will go with. I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Are you really +9?
Yeah, I like Tennessee.
You know, I think Buffalo's going to be in control of that game, but 9 points is a hell of a lot, guys, even on the road in the NFL.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. What's up with this wheel? Did you tighten it too much or what?
No, not too much. I never tighten it too much.
This is going to be a great game. Detroit and Minnesota. Minnesota's undefeated this year. They're playing at home. They're just coming off a bye week. They're 2.5-point favorites. I think Detroit's going to go in and beat them. They're not going to have to contend with weather. So Jared Goff in a dome stadium is lights out, guys. If you look at his numbers compared to outdoor stadiums, his indoor numbers are just gaudy as all hell. So I think Detroit's going to go in and handily beat them.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
I'm gonna spin. Oh, look at that. Huh.
That's one of the prop bets.
I know. I mean, it is. Okay. This is an over-under for Amari Cooper. And what it is, it's a prop bet, and it is how many weeks before Amari Cooper is relevant by our scoring system that we've been using all year.
So over 18 points.
Correct.
Yeah,
18 or
until
over.
he's over. Yeah.
18 or over. Makes him relevant, fantasy points that is. So your number of weeks before he hits 18 or over,
Yeah.
is it more or less, over or under 2.5?
Well, it's your pick, so
That's what it is. So 2.5 is the standard, right? I'm gonna say on Amari Cooper, I'm gonna say under.
you think he's going to score more than 18 points?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And there's a reason I do think that.
Okay.
Of course, last time I said I do, I want to put this ring on my finger, and can't get it off now. I don't know what the hell happened.
She could be listening, even though she's not here. So.
Love you, honey.
She hears you anywhere.
Oh, look at that! You got it right on that one.
I did. So this one, Miami versus Indy. I'm not too high on Indy, but you can't pick Miami. Miami is not a good team without Tua right now.
That division has gotten a lot stronger all of a sudden.
I'm gonna take the Indy minus 3.5 at home. Yeah, Miami is they're bad. They're a bad team without Tua, and you saw it the last couple of weeks. They just have seems like they have no offensive game plan.
Real quick, let's touch on that just briefly, I guess. Tua expected to come back for they said 3 to 4 weeks. So that's going to put him right around week 8, 9, somewhere in there.
No, 3 to 4 weeks. That'll be 9 or 10.
No, from the time he got injured.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, week 8 or 9.
So relevant or irrelevant at that point, because this affects Tyreek Hill as well, and you have Tyreek.
I do. I took Tyreek Hill 4 overall, but I'm going to tell you guys this in all honesty. I would rather Tyreek have a shit year the rest of the year than Tua come back.
But the thing is, Tyreek he's still Tyreek Hill. He can, no matter who the quarterback is, if they can throw the ball far enough, he can catch it.
He is, but he's not the same quarterback. He went to Miami to play with Tua because Tua's got a rocket arm and he can throw that downfield pass. That's Tyreek's game. So he went there to play with Tua, and he said he didn't want to go anywhere else when he was traded.
I get it. I get it.
I would love for Tyreek to have a good year, but guys, I'd rather lose the fantasy league, to be completely honest with you, than see Tua get paralyzed.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
That's not yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So
yeah, and you know I'm not just blowing smoke.
No, I just wanted to see what your thoughts are, relevant or irrelevant with Tua, because
it's hard to say because
he's a major risk if nothing else.
If Tua comes back fully healthy and he doesn't take another hit, I think it could be relevant. But you just can't. I don't even want to cross that bridge at this point, guys.
I like crossing bridges. Oh, look at that! I didn't get the other.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did
that's
not.
That's unfortunate, I guess. Huh. All right, so I got Baltimore versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is the underbearer of 3.5 points.
The underdog? You mean the underbearer?
No, they bear 3 points, 3.5 points. So they are not favored. They are.
You're the underwear of this show. So
okay, thank you. Anyway, here's that streak mark.
Anyway,
all right. Anyway, so 3.5 points. So I'm taking Baltimore.
Minus the 3.5.
Oh yeah.
Baltimore's just playing too good right now, guys.
I mean, I don't know what the over/under is on that game, but it should be high.
Well, I can tell you in a sec.
Because both those defenses are potentially really weak. And
yeah.
Both offenses are very explosive.
Well, Baltimore put up 30. Tampa Bay, what they put up, 47 or something? Or 41?
41, I think.
Yeah, so teams combined for 71 points. Let's see, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm trying to find it here. I wouldn't be surprised if that is 48.5. I thought it'd be higher than that. If we were betting people, I would take the over for sure on that. But they could combine for 60 points, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, both those defenses are potentially really weak.
All right, so I'm going to take the last one here, and I know what this one is. This has got to be Devontae Adams, right?
Yep, Devontae Adams under.
Devontae Adams over under 2.5 weeks. I think he's going to make an immediate impact, just not this week because they're playing Pittsburgh. So I'm going to say...
If you say week 2, then you're still on the under.
Right, and that's what I'm taking, under 2.5. So I think it's going to be not this week, but I think it's going to be...
next week.
The week, yeah. And let's, who they play, to be honest with you. I don't think it really matters because they can't play themselves, and he's not going to be shadowed by Gardner, and there's not really many good defenses in the AFC.
They can't play themselves? That's gotta suck.
They cannot play themselves other than practice, okay? And we don't do fantasy NFL practice, so...
Call it practice. And there's a fantasy.
Talk about practice. Playoffs.
No, that was a different Alan. That wasn't me. That was
Yes, that was Allen Iverson. But anyway, okay. But yeah, we'll see what we did. We're 52% on the year, 26-24 as a team. So
All right. So the WOMF is done for this week.
yes,
All right.
and we're just about done for this week.
We are, but I do want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, and share. Please do that. Please do that. Please do that. We have taken today and made it opposite day, and so now I see things in a different light,
Yeah.
quite literally.
Speaking of, you wanted to sit over there because you look so much better in that light. I mean, that doesn't say much. You don't look like a goblin from Lord of the Rings over there. But anyway, get our names out there, guys. I mean, so, you know, like, subscribe, and share. We love it. Yes, I know you have the trophy. But, you know, we love seeing more views and, you know, more subscribers.
Got something for you, Josh.
Wait, this is my good side, so hit me over here. But anyway, guys, maybe send a link to some of your friends. Say, hey, check these guys out. They're asses, and they don't know much about football, but they pretend to. But they drink beer and make fun of each other.
Yeah, and if you send it around Halloween, it might be spooky enough for them to actually look at it.
Yes, and we got something special planned for Halloween this year. If you guys go back and watch Halloween show, of course we do. We always do, Alan.
Yeah, we do. We do. We have something. When is Halloween? It's coming up.
Oh my God.
Isn't it this
If you guys watched our show last year, it was pretty scary / funny. So check it out. Go back, look through our videos. So
Oh my God, yeah, watch that because that was hilarious, man. But yeah,
good for you. I don't even think you could get a word out.
I
so.
couldn't. I was laughing all the time because of the. Well, just watch it. You'll
Just watch it,
If you haven't
guys,
seen
so.
it, watch it. Go back and watch it. If you've already seen it, go back and watch it again because it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
All right. We hope you guys have a great week and make sure you tell somebody you know to get bent.
On fantasy football.